Hello people and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Deep Roy Chaudhary and I'm just a normal guy who talks about stuff that seems interesting to me. Today I'm going to talk about today I'm going to talk about yet again the same topic, that the world has become a better place to live in 2020 than it has ever been before in the history of human civilization. This is the part 2 of the discussion of this topic, and in my previous video I was talking about the fact that of course the coronavirus pandemic is going on. Huge numbers of people have died because of this pandemic, and it is truly tragic. It's truly heartbreaking. My condolences with the families of all those people who died because of this, who lost their lives because of this pandemic, and God bless all their souls. May all those souls rest in peace. And I have I have sympathies with all those families who lost loved ones because of this virus. But the fact that I was saying is that if we compare it statistically, coronavirus is actually not as deadly as the bubonic plague. Again, I'm not trying to downplay the danger of the coronavirus. It's still it is still fatal for a lot of people. People who have medical complications, other medical complications like diabetes, blood pressure, and all stuff like that. People who are old, above the age of 60, I think, and even people who are 20 or 30 years old who are in sound health. Some of them can get drastically. Some of them can suffer to such an extent because of this virus that they have to be put on ventilators. Sound healthy people from between the age of 20 and 30 years, even though some of those people are drastically affected by this virus, to the extent that some of them had to be put on ventilators. Of course, the number of those people that are dying because of this virus, number of young people that are dying because of this virus is pretty low compared to the number of old people. But the point that I'm trying to make is only 2% of people, only 2% of cases of this coronavirus infection are going to be fatal. Now compare that to the bubonic plague. Millions of people lost their lives because of that plague, because we did not have medical advancements. We did not know much about medical science back then, but we know much more about medical science today. Now we can compare. We can do the same comparison on a lot of other things. Humanity has made so many advances in terms of so many other metrics that we can talk about right now. For example, um, um, yeah. Um, Throughout history, literally throughout history, there has been war that has been going on in almost every part of the world. Of course, war has always been there. Violence has always been there. Human on human violence has always been there in some form or the other. Genocides, wars, murders, or just all kinds of violence has always been there in human civilization. But if just one statistical if we look at one statistic, if we compare the number of people who lost their lives in wars in the 20th century, and we compare that to the 21st century, just within the span of 1 century, the number of people that are losing lives in wars, in deadly, bloody, brutal, horrific wars, has gone down exponentially, or has gone down dramatically. So the point, again, I don't have hard statistics right now to give it to you, but I'm pretty sure that you can find those statistics if you just Google them. Just Google number of deaths due to war in the 20th century and number of deaths due to war in the 21st century. I am pretty sure that you would see the stark comparison, the stark contrast. The same thing. With the same thing, if you compare the fatality rate due to war from the 17th century and compare that to the fatality rate due to war in the 21st century, the number of people who are dying because of war, because of genocides, and all those horrific things that happened in the history of human civilization are now happening at a way lower rate. Of course, war is still there. There are certain parts of the world, even in 2020, where people are fighting wars. There are all kinds of things that are going on around the world. The Taliban in Afghanistan is killing innocent people, and so there are terrorist organizations. There are all kinds of civil wars. I'm pretty sure that there are also some civil wars that are going on right now as we speak. So the point that I'm trying to make is the number of wars that happened 500 years ago was way greater than the number of wars that are going on right now. So if we just look at that one statistic, the number of wars that occurred in the past, and compare that to the number of wars that occur today, it's a night and day situation. Literally, we humans have brought down the casualty rate due to war, and it is one of the most peaceful. It is one of the most peaceful times to be alive as a human being. Of course, the coronavirus pandemic is there, and of course, if you live in certain parts of the world, life isn't that peaceful for you generally. But I can understand that. But the statistics don't lie. At the end of the day, the statistics are the hard statistics. The world has become a way better place to live in 2020 than it was ever before in the history of human civilization. Maybe not in 2020, but because of the whole pandemic situation. But it still is a pretty decent place to live, or a decent time to live, a decent time to be alive, compared to the 10th century AD. And there are also so many other statistics, so many other metrics that we can look at in order to explain, or in order to observe all the advances, all the improvements that human society has made on various fronts until now. And that is why I guess I still would say even in the middle of this pandemic, that yes, human society has had its share of problems, but at the end of the day, we humans in the 21st century are way more privileged than humans in the 10th century AD. I think we can all agree on that. I hope at least we can agree on that. This is it from me for now. Please consider hitting the like button. Please consider sharing my video with others. Please consider subscribing to my channel. That would help me a lot. I would talk about this specific topic yet again in my future videos. Until then, stay safe. Goodbye, and God bless you.